Last time on MJ Sailing, we brought you through a full 24 hours in the life of an ocean crossing. From our daily email checks, even at sea, to close encounters with mega container ships, we show you the excitement and the dullness that can come from a full day at sea. So today is day 18 of our Atlanta crossing, and I could not be more ready for this passage to be over. As we speak right now, our friends that left the same time as us probably should be pulling into Horta right about now. And as for ourselves, there is still 700 miles separating us from Horta, along with 20 knot winds on the nose. So all day today we have been going tacking, trying to get as far east as we can. We're pretty much parallel with Horta right now, so we just need to get east. But we ended up going north a little bit to try and find some better winds, and then now we've tacked back and we're on a course of 160 degrees. So definitely not doing good, and it's just going to be like this for the next few days. Unfortunately, the winds are northeast at 20 knots right now. And I think through tomorrow they're going to start to clock more east. So hopefully we can at least go northeast at that point, but it's not going to be for another 3 to 4 days that they start going north. So we just have a few really uncomfortable kind of sucky days in front of us where we're going to be beating into the wind, heeling over really far, fairly uncomfortable inside the boat, and not really making any progress, so that just blows. But what can you do? We really have no other options, and so we just have to keep plugging along until either the weather changes or we get there. So pretty out right now. It's the end of my shift, just going on 4 a.m. and in one corner of the sky we've got the sun rising, and then in the other corner of the sky we've got a full moon setting. So it looks really, really cool out here right now. Getting closer to the border of the high pressure system. Winds should start turning southeast into south tomorrow. Not a lot of motivation to do anything. Lots of movie watching. Should really clean the sink of dishes. I just saw dolphins surface, but now I've lost them. But they were so close. Well, I seem to have lost the dolphins momentarily, but as I'm at the bow doing some searching, there seem to be what looks like from the surface snakes down there, although I know they're not. They're probably just fish, so if there were dolphins hunting, then hopefully they come back soon. And unfortunately, the cat has followed me up here, but luckily it's pretty calm, so I'm just going to keep an eye on her. But I keep seeing all these shapes in the water, and they're just maybe 5 feet below the surface, so I can't quite clearly make them out, but based on all the birds that I've seen circling and disturbances in the water, now the dolphins and that, I'm thinking this would probably be a good place to throw the fishing line in the water. Matt will probably be up from his nap in about an hour, and maybe we will throw the line out one more time and catch ourselves a big fish that I can freeze. And then when we get to Horta this weekend, I can batter and fry it, because that sounds a lot better than the other like seared fish that I don't really know how to make, so I just kind of guess all the time. So Matt is going to try and get these things with the GoPro. I tried on that little stick we have, but it wasn't quite deep enough. We'll see if attaching it to the boat hook does any better, if we can get any actual underwater footage of them. So unfortunately the light is starting to dim and you can't see in the water as well as you could a little bit ago. But I did find out that what I thought were snakes, because they looked like long and thin and then coiled at the end, are actually some type of jellyfish. I have no idea what kind. I'll have to look it up once we get to shore. But it's really cool. They're clear, and then they have a like burnt red fringe at the end, and I guess they can like flatten themselves out straight or coil themselves up or go in the full circle. So hopefully they'll still be around tomorrow when there's better light, but right now we are having an awesome time just like standing and looking over the bow and watching it. It's probably one of the coolest things that we've seen from the boat. What we were able to find out after a little internet research is that the creatures we were seeing just under the surface are called sea salp, which have transparent barrel-shaped bodies. Living in every type of ocean climate, they can be seen near the surface individually, or as we were seeing them, in long, stringy colonies. Some colonies found have been up to 15 feet long. They move by pumping water through their gelatinous bodies, and unlike jellyfish, salps don't sting. So today is a day that I've been waiting to celebrate for quite a while. It is kind of sad to say our 21st full day at sea. This is day 22. But it also marks 500 miles or less now to Horta. So I have been saving what was going to be a Bahama Mama to make, because we still have this Goombay punch from our first time in Marsh Harbor months and months ago. But I don't remember the recipe exactly, and I don't think I have all the ingredients, so I'm just gonna kind of make a smorgasbord drink. Tell me this isn't fancy having ice in your drink. And let's see, we've got some Malibu black rum. I know, my hands are wet and slippery. 70 proof, good thing I'm no longer on shift, on watch. A little bit there. And a little bit of spiced rum, Captain Morgan. And I know when I tried to make a dark and stormy with this a few months ago, I got a lot of complaints about drinking Captain Morgan's, but it was a gift. So don't say anything bad about it, because that person will feel bad. So add a little shot of Captain.
What's wrong with Captain Morgan?
I don't think there's anything wrong with Captain Morgan, but everyone thinks that we should be drinking Kraken or Goslings. We can't afford that.
Well, that's when you're doing dark and stormies, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not doing a dark and stormy. It's all right then.
Yeah, but I think people just poo on Captain.
Really?
Anyway, yeah.
Huh.
So we've got our 2 different kinds of rum, spiced rum and dark rum. Gonna add some concentrated sugar with multiple fruit flavors here. I think my ice is gonna be melted by the time I actually mix this up.
Yeah, I would think so.
That's pretty good. And last but not least, the Goombay punch, which has been sitting in our fridge and I think leaking. There's no carbonation left. But I think this is as close to a Bahama Mama as I'm going to get. I always wonder with my fingers with a stick. I should have brought a spoon out. Yeah.
Keep it classy.
As usual. So, cheers, less than 500 miles to go. I'm not gonna say that it should only take us 4 days because I won't jinx us. The end is now in sight, so finally start relaxing. And we saw some awesome marine life today, which is worth celebrating anyway because those jellyfish were freaking awesome. I said awesome too many times.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome sauce.
They were wicked cool, man.
Wicked cool. So if you notice, there's only one drink being made. It's my shift to watch right now, so I am not allowed. I will celebrate once we get into Horta, like a good captain. Last night we actually had to motor for about 10 hours to get through, or get into actually, a high pressure system. Basically no wind at all. This morning there was no wind. Now it's actually filled in just a little bit, quite a bit better than it was an hour ago. But gave us actually the opportunity to try a sail that we hadn't put up before, which is our drifter.
Ooh. Pretty.
Yeah, isn't it? Beautiful.
It's actually older than we are.
Yeah, it's on the tag it says something 76. Then it looks like it got redone in 81. So yes, it is older than Jess and I actually are, or the boat actually is also. So another sail that wasn't made for this boat. Extremely old, but actually it's in remarkably good shape. Of course, it's one of those sails that most people don't ever actually use. You have a board, but you don't really ever lift it up.
Yeah,
so we thought we'd give it a
spinnaker. So.
Yeah, we don't have a spinnaker, so it gave us the opportunity to try something maybe a little bit different. And quite frankly, we just wanted to make sure that it fit well, and this was a perfect opportunity. So it did up our speed. We were doing that like 1.9, right around 2. And it brought us up to the mid 3s to low 4. So yeah, made a big difference with that. Actually dramatic difference. Of course, during that time of putting it up, the wind did increase as well. So really can't do a apples to apple comparison here. But yeah, this is our drifter. Cool. So we will keep it.
Yes. And we've got our other more performance sail just tied down to the deck for the moment.
The beautiful precision sail.
Yes.
Which has been absolutely awesome for this trip. Couldn't ask for a better one. The staysail's actually coming to its own. We got the track position a little bit better now for it, for sheeting angle. It still interferes with a few things, but just got to keep an eye on chafe pretty much is the big issue with it. Chafe with the sheets. But other than that, that's actually working out all right too, and that's made a big difference to those heavy air days that we've had.
loosened it back up when I went on shift at midnight, and since then the wind has picked up a little bit and we are comfortably cruising along at about 6 knots actually, which is really nice for once. There's some storm clouds behind us, and pretty much off of our starboard bow, which is where the wind is coming from, it's a little overcast but it looks clear. So I guess the debate will be if we leave this head sail up in winds that are probably a little like 10 to 15 knots, which is the peak of what this sail should handle. So I guess I will get Matt up right now and get his opinion, and we'll see if I need to quick run on deck to help him take it down and replace it with our precision head sail, or if we will just leave up the drifter and keep speeding towards Horta, or nearish to it, at a comfortable 6 knots and just hope that the winds don't pick up anymore. Time to get up, my love. But I guess the plan is just to leave the drifter up and hope that none of the storms that are behind us kind of like shift and start coming at us. But if they do, we'll just do what we normally do when one person is sleeping, and we'll just wake them up and take care of it and then send that person back to bed. So hopefully I will be getting a nice 4 hours of sleep because conditions stay the same, because right now things are actually going well for once. We found land! Finally now, after, well, 25 full days at sea, this is day 26. We are coming up on Fial right now. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and as you can tell, it's actually kind of a shit day, which sucks because normally this coast is absolutely gorgeous. And now the wind's finally picking up. It was pretty slow all night, only going about 4 knots. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I wish I could see the coast better. I think it would make landfall a bit more exciting. We're still really excited to get to shore. We just have to round the southern corner of Fial and then find Horta on the southwest corner. And we already know from friends that it's pretty busy in there, so we'll probably get rafted up. But go ashore, provision, have a beer, do some exploring, and just relax. But with this kind of cool and overcast weather, I think I will just make myself a coffee right now and sit out in the cockpit and watch that little shadow on the horizon grow into these big mountains in front of my eyes.
Georgia, you're super excited to land. Are you so excited that we're here now?
Well, time for a jibe. Let's just hope I can keep it quiet enough that I don't wake Matt and he can finish getting his 3 hours of sleep on this shift. So I thought I was going to be super anxious this morning just to get to shore, to get the boat in the marina, and to go about and start exploring. I thought it would drive me crazy that this morning we still have to spend a few hours sailing the outer edges of the island, and right now we're traveling kind of along the southeast coast, and so with the wind behind us I have to go even further south before I can jibe up to get there. And I thought it was just going to be like counting down the minutes, like, well, why aren't we there yet? And as I'm sitting here with my coffee this morning and just a light breeze rolling behind me, comfortable outside, looking at Fiala as we pass it by, I forgot that this is part of the journey too. You know, so many people come to these places and they try and get on boat tours to see the island from the water, and I almost pushed myself to miss that. So, you know, even if we don't get in until noon, even though we thought we're going to be in just after sunrise, I'm actually quite happy now, because just sitting here and getting to watch all the details of the coast from the water is quite the experience in itself. So I'm just going to finish my coffee and let us cruise along, and when we get there, we get there.
Georgia girl, what'd you think of all the birds?
Yeah, you liked that part, didn't you? Even though I woke you from a deep slumber for it. We are just about to come up on Porto Pim, and then right around the corner is Horta and the marina, so we are almost there. Day 26, no less. But it has been well worth the ride. And just like that, our time at sea was over. 2,800 miles covered in 25 days. And now, we are back in the beauty of the Azores. So we have finally made it to Horta. I am so excited. 25 days at sea. It is so good to be standing on land again. We've got ourselves all checked in, and we're on the main pontoon in front of the office. When I went to check in, I actually did get a little land sick today, standing on solid ground after so long of moving back and forth. But this is definitely one of those places where our heart belongs, and so it's kind of a shame that we only get to spend a few weeks here instead of a month or two. But winds, you know, we have to get to Ireland before things get too hectic with the season. So stay tuned for lots of exciting stuff to come. We're going to try and cram as much into these islands as we can, but right now it's time to have a beer and relax. Join us for the next episode of MJ Sailing, where we get settled into the town of Horta after more than 3 weeks at sea, and enjoy a drink at the famous Beatz Cafe. Also, look for a bonus video coming up where we compare our weather routing with our friends that did the same journey on their Sabre 36.